The station that believes in human rights, the station that believes in social justice, the station that believes what we do and how we do it will actually end war. That's fundamental for this radio station. And everything it does is geared around the two things that makes us us, human rights and social justice. Everything we do at this radio station, from the music we play, from the conversations you listen to, from the interviews we have, every aspect of this radio station gears itself around human rights and social justice. But for us to do what we do, for us to continue doing what we do, we need your help. This is a nonprofit. We have no money-making aspects of this radio station. It's a nonprofit. And it functions because of you. It functions because you help it function by donating a little of your hard-earned money to the station, to WHIV-FM. That's what you do, and that's WHIVFM.org. But you do that. You donate a little of your money. Now, we don't ask for it all. We're asking for like $5 a month, maybe, if you could do that, $10 a month. I mean, we're not asking for much because we recognize that your money is hard-earned. And to share it, then we shouldn't be asking you to share more than we deserve to receive. But that you can give us. And you can also go on that website and go to WHIVFM.org and hit the store button. And you can see a number of these little thingies that you can get at the store. We call it, a lot of, again, just give me some of that stuff. We got stuff. You got the shirt stuff. You got this stuff. And you can get one. And actually, with our guest this morning, Michael Willis, those of you who pay attention to what the show does, we sent out an email about Michael. We sent out text messages about Michael joining the show and about his organization called Hope. We did that. But also, Michael now will receive, as a guest of this show, he will receive his shirt. Michael, you see my shirt?
Yes.
Why don't you hit the donate, hit the button and go live, Michael.
It's already gone.
You did it all?
Yeah.
Michael, you see the shirt? You
Yeah,
see the shirt?
I see
It's a
the
pretty
shirt.
shirt. Get a shirt.
I want it.
That's how we pay people for coming on the show. Give them a shirt. Because
it.
then we expect them to advertise the show by walking around in the shirt. That's an expectation.
Correct.
So that's what we do. But we're going to have, though, with that said, our audience, we're going to have a great show this morning. We will engage a conversation with a young man who actually, Michael, I asked you how old you were, and you told me how old are you, Michael?
May 4th, I'll be 50 years old.
Oh, Lord, isn't that just wonderful? May 4th, Michael will be 50 years old. I shared with Michael, my dad saying to Cal, me, saying to Calvin, boy, you don't become a man until you're 50, so just set yourself down. And when you get there, stand up. That's when you become a man.
Correct.
So, Michael, you got a couple more months to go. And you're a full-grown man, bro.
Yes, sir.
You're full-grown. But, Michael, let's start the show. This is where I want to start.
Well, let me get comfortable then.
Get comfortable, man. I don't know what you're sitting up there like you're going to say, yeah.
Let me get comfortable,
man. I don't know why you sitting up there like some old dude with all them clothes on. I'm the old dude in here. I'm old and cold, man. What up?
Yeah, let me get comfortable.
Get comfortable. Hey.
Okay, I'm ready.
This is how I met you, Mike. I say met you in terms of looking up stuff about you. I met you at O'Perry Walker.
Okay.
That's what I met you at. I say that in the sense of, okay, who is Michael Willis? Oh, O'Perry Walker. You're 16, 17 years old.
Correct.
This is your last year or two at O'Perry Walker. Let's start there. Tell me about your last couple of years.
1992.
In Algiers, y'all who may not know where O'Perry Walker was, and well, I guess no longer is.
Correct.
But in Algiers. But go ahead, Michael.
So, 1992. Okay, so they shut Harmon School down.
Yeah.
And they make Landry a junior, senior high school, a magnet school. 1986. So I went to LB Landry. Played bass drum, baritone, appendix bust, so I played baritone, then I auditioned for drum major. And wound up winning. Become one of the best drum majors.
That was at Landry?
Landry.
That was
right.
at Landry, okay.
So Then,
do you have any pictures? I don't want to interrupt this. Do you have any pictures of you as the drum major?
Yeah, I got some.
You need to share some of the pictures.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you.
Okay.
So the hardest thing was at Landry, when you're the drum major, you're like king at this time.
Yeah, no question.
But I found out that my senior year, one of my teachers told me, well, I was in a teacher's pet. Let's put it like that. I wasn't a teacher's pet. So because I wasn't a teacher's pet, I was going to have a hard time my senior year.
Mm-hmm.
So I called my mom and said, listen, I think I have to leave Landry School if I want to graduate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the youngest of 6 kids, right? Nobody ever graduated.
So if you were going, they made it clear to you, if you were intending to graduate from high school, you need to go somewhere else.
No, I got to play the game.
You got to play this game.
And
okay, and you Michael Willis.
No, I don't play it.
And you don't play the game.
Period, right? So,
okay.
Miss Moller, everybody already know the story about Miss Moller. You know, she had a point sheet. She was a good teacher, but I didn't know that she was like the head honcho of the teachers, though. So when they're in the teachers' lounge, they discuss certain things, and somebody said that she said, Michael Willis had the audacity to tell me what he ain't gonna do this and that, blah, 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 blah. So now I got hit on myself.
Mm-hmm.
So my sister is 15, she get pregnant. And she failed. So we in the same class at this time. Her grades on the same test that I had in the same class group I had, she had an A, I had a C. So I'm like, how is that possible? Right? So I go ask Miss Moller, listen, and Miss Dennis and quite a few others. See, how am I getting a C and my sister's getting an A? So they was like, well, what you copying off her work? I said, no, it's just common sense. She getting an A and I'm getting a C. Like, what's going on, right? So Dr. Irv Anderson, he said, Michael, they're going to try and fail you, period. So I had to call my mom, and I had to make a decision at that moment. If I could be popular another year, fail, be drum major another year, or I can move on. So I had to make a decision. I made a decision to move on to O'Hara Walker.
And you're what, 16, 17?
16, 17, yeah. So it's 1992 at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So football season, I'm drum major for Landry.
Mm-hmm.
Parade season, I'm drum major for Walker.
So that was the football season of that
freeze-out year.
That fall of that year.
Mm-hmm.
You at Landry.
Mm-hmm.
But then you get to O'Hara Walker in the spring.
Yeah.
By the time Mardi Gras rolled around.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's uncomfortable. You know, territorial stuff, cut off against the project, cut off against Christopher Holmes and all that, that was the year Jamo got killed at O'Hara Walker in 1992.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So it was a hell of a transition for me. It was hard for me to lead my peers. Like, I went to elementary with these kids, Berman, like I said, to Landry. Now I had to make a decision to better myself. Mm-hmm. So I had to make that decision to leave. So I left and I graduated from O'Hara Walker. Like, people right now still don't know what school I really graduated from.
Because now, you know, in the pieces parts that I looked up and found, I didn't find Landry. I didn't find any information about Landry. Mm-hmm. I did find about O'Hara Walker, and you're being the drum major at O'Hara Walker. Mm-hmm. So you weren't a drum major there, but for one Mardi Gras season.
That's it.
You were the drum major there.
Correct.
How the heck, though, did you manage that? I'm just curious, man. How did you manage to go from one school as drum major? Was you that much of a drum major hero, brother? Were you that much of a drum major in Algiers?
So what happened was, I saw Motown 30 award show.
Okay.
Barry Gordy them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I seen Jackson State Band do this performance going into the stadium, inside of the theater. Jackson State Band, right?
Okay.
So
maybe you didn't catch how with my whole countenance went down.
Okay.
You said Jackson State.
Jackson State, yeah.
Okay, tell me about it. Okay.
So
tell me about it.
The drum majors, they had 3 drum majors.
I know what they got.
At that time.
Yeah, I know. I was there then.
And they did a performance that it just took me. So when I auditioned for drum major at Landry, remember, everybody only know Bayou Classic because that's all we have here is Bayou Classic. Mm-hmm. So then you go to Southern or Grambling, right?
Yeah, you don't go to Jackson State.
Period. But Mr. Magruder, Dr. Magruder, who's our band director at Landry, he came from Jackson. So he's always take us to the homecoming parade for Jackson. So in Jackson State, like, blew my mind. Like, the drum major just blew my mind. So when I auditioned, I did the Jackson State move, right?
Which was what?
They had this little step they do.
Mm-hmm.
And the precision that they was on. Like, everything was just precise and precision. Everybody was on the same tone.
But how did you manage that with the other band members?
Well, what I did, I studied. Well, I didn't teach it to Walker. I taught it at Landry.
Okay.
So I was the first to do it at Landry. So when I
how did you manage it at Old Perry Walker?
How did
you manage to go from there? Come on, you have band members at Old Perry Walker. Yet other people
I had quite a few fights.
I mean, I know I would think you did. How the hell did you?
So they had Banky and they had a girl named Tyra and Jaden at the time, right?
Yeah.
But Michael Willis was that guy. Like, so as far as drum majors at the time.
I hear you, Michael Willis.
Like, I can go to any school. I can go to Warren Easton. I can go to 35. I can go to Seton Academy, Xavier. I go to all these people dancing because I'm drum major.
17, 18, you could have taken your drum major skill to damn near any high school in New Orleans.
Period.
And they would have brought you up in the middle of the school year.
Yeah. So it's a problem now, right? So
I would think so.
So Banky is the head drum major when I get to Walker. But when I get to Walker, his position got shifted down.
Well, how did he take that?
Well, he always wanted to battle me, and I never battled him. You know, so just imagine your school anticipating a battle coming, though. This battle gotta come. Just gotta happen.
I would think,
right?
I was in high school once myself, as long as that might have been. But I was there.
So I was there to get education. I was there to better myself. I wasn't there focusing on everybody else, what they was into. You know, I was homeless and everything, you know, at the time. So my focus was not, you know, my mom was on crack. You know, I ain't never had a daddy, none of that stuff. My sister 15 pregnant, you know, they split the rest of my mom's kids up and left her with 2. So I had to grow up kind of fast. So a lot of stuff that was funny to people wasn't funny to me. So I didn't play those certain games. So when Banky won the challenge, I just ignored it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. I mean, you be you, I'm gonna be me. And so one day, we do the challenge. The whole school come outside.
For those of you who haven't been in high school, you have to visualize the whole school outside.
Come outside to see this battle.
Oh, yes, indeed.
So it was crazy outside. So needless to say, you know, Banky was a good drum major. But
what?
Michael Willis was the best in the state. Period. like this and this hand down. Like it's not even much nothing that anybody can debate about. Period. Like, I was the best in the state. Period. Because I was the first one doing the Jackson State moves. So the stuff that everybody's saying college drum majors doing now, I was already doing it in the 80s. You know, and the reason why Call do it because their band director come from where? Jackson.
I'm not. But hopefully the last time. It's not.
I ain't gonna say Jackson again.
Jackson State.
But Jackson's changed my life. I'm just being honest with you. That the Motown Award show changed my life when I saw that, and that's what I wanted to do.
Are you going to go Saturday to the Legacy where Jackson State's band is playing?
I might.
I mean, it would be a great thing for you to take some kids then, bro.
I would love to. But you know, again, all this stuff takes financing and everything else.
I know that, and I know you're right about that. Yeah. I know they had.
So me and Dr. Magruder, we still stay in touch with each other, but he's at Winston-Salem now.
Okay.
But he's still admired at Jackson. He's admired at Landry. Like what he did for us in the 80s and the 90s was unprecedented. He exposed us to something that normally we would never been exposed to. Just like Katrina, when Katrina happened, a lot of people never would have left the West Bank if it wasn't for Katrina.
Would you have? If I know this is Wednesday and this game is Saturday at 3:00. You could get a Corella group of kids to get there if somebody would buy tickets for them?
Yeah.
Did you transport them there?
Yeah, I can transport them all together. Yeah.
How many? I think tickets are like $15, $20, something like that. How many kids could you transfer?
I have a range of 10,000 people in my database.
I mean, but how could you get them there? I mean,
correct. I would have to talk to a school bus service, and we'll figure it all out.
could you? I'm saying this, and we all on Facebook and on the radio. So I'm saying this, but I'm a member of a Kiwanis organization.
Okay.
That donates money for folk to do stuff with kids.
Okay.
And I will want you to send me something specific about a request to get that done. That is to get these kids to the Legacy Bowl to see Jackson State's halftime show.
Correct.
Because I got some people who are not black.
Yeah.
I'm going because they want to see Jackson State's halftime show. I'm not making this up.
Correct.
I'm going with those people who are not black.
Let me tell you what I would have to do though.
But they want to see this halftime
show.
show.
My daughter's making 25 this weekend.
Oh wow,
right?
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just, but I would love to go. Like, she know that. Mm-hmm. Like if I had a choice,
it's 3:00. Come on, come on.
Yeah, but then I would have to fly. I would have to get myself to Texas because she's in Texas.
Lord, okay.
Yeah, she's not here. She's in Texas. Yeah, we're gonna celebrate her big 25 birthday. But I mean, if I can make it happen, I will make it happen.
But things like that you do, you'll talk about this off the air. But things that you do like that, there are other organizations that can help you get it done.
Correct.
We can talk about that off the air. What happens at Oak Perry Walker in your senior? Is there something that happens that moves you in the direction you're in right now?
So Shane Williams saw me. So I did a talent show, right? So then a kid at Landry got his leg cut off. Playing football, something happened. So I gave a fundraiser.
His leg cut off?
Yeah. Like they didn't get him to the hospital in time, so that they amputated his leg.
Wow.
So I gave a fundraiser. So I talked to Shane Williams.
How do you gave a fundraiser? You're in high school. How you do a fundraiser?
I just need a venue. And I knew all the rappers at the time. Like at that time, like Baby and them was, we was young. Cash Money was young. UNLV, Miss T, all those people, Mystical, everybody was young. So it was nothing to make a phone call to Chuck, that big boy, make a phone call to Baby. It wasn't, it was easy at the time.
How had you become such that you could do that?
Vision. To be honest with you, I didn't even, somebody asked me like, so what is the blueprint? God. So what stopped me from going to Jackson State? I'm gonna say this. I tore my ligament in my leg.
Okay.
So at that point, all my dreams that I wanted to be the drum major at Jackson went somewhere else. So I had to start doing some different things.
Okay.
Right. So I got a job at a company called Ridgeway Blueprint Company. Had a bad accident, detrimental accident. And it gave me, at the time, $500,000.
Okay.
Lawsuit. So now I'm 19 with $500,000.
Okay.
Right? Like God did this. But I'm supposed to be dead. From that accident, I'm supposed to be dead. Right? So the steps that God put me in, I don't even know. But being drum major, okay, so Landry had a tradition at her parade. When we get around Canal Boulevard, we would break down and do a dance routine. And from that moment, the whole community would jump the barricade and follow Landry Band from Canal Boulevard, which is on Jim DeGaulle, all the way to Oakwood Mall to the end. It becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And we got known for that. So when you're the drum major and, it's like now Landry is the school of the community.
Okay.
Understand what I'm saying? Like Walker was like, I'm not gonna take nothing from Gus at Walker. Mm-hmm. Walker was their thing.
What year are we talking about?
We talking 89 to 92. But I started at Landry in 86. I played bass drum first. Mm-hmm. Then when my appendix bust, I had to learn how to read music, so I started playing baritone. Mm-hmm. Then after that, I auditioned in 89 for drum major. Then I became the drum major. Just by doing that Jackson State move. Like I won, like everybody like, you just did the J State. You just did the J State. You know what I'm saying? So, and because I thought outside the box. I didn't think inside the box. Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, just imagine everybody twirling the baton, go backwards like the drum major, that's something to do.
Yeah.
What's going to make that, how I'm going to stand out with 15 other people, right? And then I'm intimidated. They got one guy named Mark, right? He have the height, light-skinned brother. In my mind, I'm saying, he look like a drum major, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is my mind with him. Like, 15 people auditioning, but I'm looking at him like, this guy look like he could be a drum major, though. So what I'm going to do to take the, just make everybody look at me and see what I'm doing. So my brother-in-law played tuba, Gus Shorty. So I asked him, can he play this part? Boom, 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 boom. They get ready part, right? He said, yeah, I can do it. So when he played, I said, give me a minute, let me think, because I got to figure out what I'm going to do when I audition. Like, I got to figure it out. So they called me early. I was like maybe the 5th one to audition, but I asked them to give me more time because my mind is running like how can I stand out? So I became like number 11, right? So I said, Gus, I need you to play that part. So he played the part for me, and I came in, I clicked out, and I became Jackson State. And then there was like, and even the people that auditioned first, they were like, how can we top that? And so the people after that, it was like, we can't top that, right? So that's what made me become a little special to some people. And that's how it all started, to be honest with you.
I mean, that's how, but even at that point, you were engaging with New Orleans rappers, even at that point.
Yeah, we was all
But now you're 19, 20, you're going through an accident, you've got some cash in your pocket.
No, so I got to give it to Trey 8, though. Trey 8 was my first artist with Smoke on Records. Walter, he died in a car accident. So now I'm at Walker. He's at Walker. Beating on the desk. I'm on business stuff. Like, my mind was somewhere different. So Miss Fields, one of our teachers, told us to get out the class. I said, Miss Fields, no, I can't fail. Like, I can't, like, you know what I'm saying? Why are you putting me out? She said, you're going to be a businessman, Michael. You're not going to be a cook. You're not going to be none of that. Like, you don't even think like these people in the class. But she said, Trey, Walter, you got to get out. You're disturbing the class all day, right? And that's how I started with music, because of Walter. Smoke on Records, right? Now, I wanted to be a singer. Bobby Marchand was doing the gong shows back then, right?
Sure.
So, back then, it's either you're going to be a cool guy or you're going to be a singer in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? It's either or. So I finally got me a girlfriend that I wanted, and she liked the cool guys. So she's popped up at this gong show. Right? So me and a guy named Gerald, we was going to do a Boys to Men song. So I come out the back, and I see my girlfriend. I'm like, man, I can't sing in front of Tanisha. Right? So Tana, man, she might like dudes like that, man. Just Tana, come on, man. We talking about Tanisha. Right? I said, I can't do this. So Bobby called us. She said, listen, y'all up next. So there's a lady, I swear, she come out the bathroom singing. No mic, no nothing. And she had a range like Fantasia, any one of them. Like, she was from the stomach, loud, without a mic. So in my mind, I'm like, she could win, right? Then I'm like, I can't perform because Tanisha here. So I said, Gerald, I'm sorry, brother. Here go a couple of dollars. I'm sorry for wasting your time, but we ain't gonna perform. So Bobby said, Mike, yo, he said, no, Bobby, I ain't singing tonight. So I told him, send her a bottle of champagne, and then got her champagne. So she was like, what you doing here? I said, oh, man, we just here checking out artists. You know, I lied to her, you know. And then I said, come on, let's go, let's leave. Because now Tanner and them, they go clown me. Because now I won't sing this and that, and nobody know I really want to sing. So, but at that time, it's either you're going to be a street guy, gangster, or you're going to be a singer. And being a singer back then in New Orleans just wasn't, unless it was gospel, you know, it wasn't a fit for me. So I just stuck to the street stuff.
And when you say you stuck to the street stuff, what do you mean?
So that's when we started funding Trey and other artists. We started it was Smoke on Records at the time. And so 1994, Master P come down and meet us. We were selling independently. We were selling 70,000 copies because we had the streets online. Period. You know,
you were selling 70,000 copies.
Through so that was through Peaches Records, Miss Sharani, Big Easy Distributing, Gonzalez, and Selecto Hits, right? So we will press it up and we'll do consignment with them. And that's how we were selling out. And we were selling more units than wasn't on the radio. But we had the streets. You know, it's like Tanner was off the chain, very flamboyant, you know, multiple cars and this and that. So anytime we gave a party, it was at least 1,000 people there regardless, you know. So, and they supported the Smoke on Records movement. So then, when we did the little deal with Master P in 94, 95, Trade was on the Down South Hustle album, and we put out an album called Ghetto Stories, right? But we funded our own stuff. So everybody else that was trying to come through No Limit needed P for something we didn't. P, like at that time, he didn't have 8 cars and all that stuff like that. He was growing. So Mia X actually put the Down South. She was one of the biggest pioneers that helped put the Down South Hustle together.
Okay.
You know, which was all local acts. Soldier Slim. We had Joe Black, Partners in Crime. The only 2 major acts on it was MJG and UGK. You know, 2 big acts on it. The rest of them was all locals. And it wound up doing well. And from that point on, that's when we built a relationship with P. So when I hear people talk about independent, and then when I hear about people say they faked it till they made it, they did that. I wasn't faking nothing. You know, like I own my own publishing company. Like I own everything. The masters, all that is mine. So things that people didn't understand back then, I already understood. So then I get a phone call from a guy named L.J. Wallace. He was the program director at Baton Rouge radio station, right? So L.J. Wallace he had a situation with Malico Music Group, where if he could put some companies together, he can go at them and try and put a catalog together and try and get this $3 million deal with Malico, right? So he invited me to Baton Rouge. I see what he's got going on, but I don't know him like that, you know. So I told him I didn't want to participate with what they had going on. So I get a phone call from Tommy Couch Jr., which is the son of Tommy Couch Sr., the owners of Malico Music Group. So Tommy come down and meet me personally, and he still wanted to work out a deal. So I'm independent, and I'm gonna work this deal with Malico, but I don't want nothing from them.
What you mean you don't want nothing from it?
Just distribution. See, they was pressing, to press a CD and a cassette was 52 cents, right? So if they could save me on pressing at 52 cents, I made them ship everything to me. I continue to just still do consignment with all other distributors.
Okay.
You know, I made my own market drivers. I didn't allow them to be, you know, make a determination if my album's gonna do good or bad. I made a determination. So I just kept the same mindset. So I let them ship me the CDs to my thing. I got a shade made, and I had 10,000 CDs, and we sold all of them. Like right now, today, every one of my projects sold over 10,000 copies. Period.
And so they sold in the revenue the cost you had.
So back then, so I can tell Walmart at the time placed my stuff next to Jay-Z for $9.99 or $10 because I'm giving them more money. I only want to make $4, you can make $5. But place it next to Jay-Z. I don't need to be placed in the back. You understand what I'm saying?
I hear you. I do.
Once I realized it, remember it's not but 52 cents. So I'm really making $5. Right? And then the Walmart realizing, all these other stores realizing, damn, we making $5 too. We normally make $1.50, $2 with even the major acts. Right? But because the cheap.
I hear you.
So I kept my same hustle going on basically. I never did worry about if Malico was going to be distributed or not. I made the stores call Malico and say, we need 10 more of those. We made, you know what I'm saying? Because the way I was still doing consignment. I would pull up on Miss Sharani and look, keep it at $10 though, Miss Sharani. Keep it cheap. You know what I'm saying? And you can make $5, I make $5, you pay the taxes, we good. Then that's stuck with me.
So this is a business acumen, a thought process that you actually had when you were 16, 17.
So a lot of people, you know, I don't want to say gay stuff, this and that. You know, Bobby Marchand was feminine to people. I didn't have a problem with him, so I was willing to listen to him and learn from him. Like Bobby would make a phone call, hey, I got Cheeky Black Baby, I got that. And he would mail out records, you know, back then we had vinyls and everything. And he would get every program director on it, you know, and it was playing songs. We paid Bobby $1,500. Everybody down there paid Bobby. Cash money, no, everybody, if you wanted your music to get service, you went through Bobby Marchand. Period. And I learned from him though. I was listening to him. He said, "Now look, Michael, I made the phone call. Now you got to go build a relationship." So I had to get in the car and go to Lake Charles, Baton Rouge, Shreveport, Alexandria, Jackson, Mississippi, Gulfport, Mississippi, Little Rock, Arkansas, Huntsville, Alabama, all of the Chitlin circuit, secondary markets, right? And figure out whatever it's going to take to get my songs played in rotation. You know, and that's what made me different from
Michael,
everybody.
hold that thought. I forgot something I'm supposed to do. Like inform our listening audience that this is WHIV-FM 102.3 on the dial, WHIVFM.org, and that's how you're listening. The station that believes in human rights, believes in social justice, believes what we do and how we do it, you're in war. That's fundamental for us listeners. And Facebookers, you are looking at Michael Willis. And Michael is describing, well, the only aspect of his life we've got up to in 30 minutes, he's still just out of high school. This is who this guy is. He had, as we just discovered, he had a business acumen when he was in high school that got him to 2024. And we're going to hopefully get to 2024. Yeah. But he had that business acumen, Michael. Yeah. That's amazing, man.
And that's what Shane Williams, he was like, nobody ever came to us with a contract. Like, how you know about a contract? So my mindset knew this. If you have a building, I'm going to ask you for what I need, and you will tell me what you can give me. If you say, Michael, we go open the auditorium for 7 o'clock, you know, you got to have so many security. You tell me what I'm going to need to use your facility, and I'm going to provide it. So I put it all in the contract. You know, I'm going to need y'all to open up early so we can set up at 5, 4 o'clock, whatever, and blah, 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 and it'll be done at 11 o'clock. So, and I just put it in the contract to perform.
And you hired all of the pieces, parts necessary to activate the contract.
Correct. I hired the police department to come do the security and everything else. I just put everything in place and went from there.
And you were doing this at what is the earliest age you did that?
So the first sock hop thing started, we was at Berman. When I first thought of a sock hop thing.
You were at Berman?
I was at Berman. I was in junior high.
Okay.
Right. So the first hip hop group that had a deal was called DOA. A guy named Ruben, Frederick, and T. We're in junior high. It was the first people that I knew at that time that had a record deal, and we was in junior high school.
Okay.
You know, so we already, like, I'm in a band, so it's like you already got the niche for the music. You just got to figure it out, like figure out what part you want to play in it. You know what I'm saying? And that was just it. I had to figure out, I wanted to be the business. I went from, I ain't gonna sing. Now I'm gonna do the little certain hooks with everybody out the studio. I'm gonna fix everything, make sure everything mellowed out, the harmony, you know. But nobody, I never let nobody.
You're gonna produce it. You're gonna arrange it.
I pay a producer. I don't no. I let somebody else produce all that.
Okay.
I just know how to fix it, and I know.
But when you're talking about what you just said, that's kind of arranging it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and you own, of course, and those of you who didn't hear the beginning of this, you own basically all of those things.
Correct.
In some fashion or form.
Yeah. So the stuff y'all be hearing Prince was talking about, I went in the studio, I recorded it, I gave the final product to the label. Why I don't own my masters? Why they want my masters? If I produced the whole project myself, all I did was turn it into them. You know, so at this point, I'm giving you 10 or 15%. 85% is mine because I did everything. But if you're going to press it and distribute it, that's how you make your money. But when I realized that some people, the sense of urgency of really doing the market drivers to get it placed in the store, that they didn't know, you know, I knew how to do that from Bobby Marchand. Oh, that was it. And then once I realized I can get my stuff pressed for 52 cents, and I understood the profit margin, I said, well, damn, I can keep it cheap.
I mean, do you do business lectures? Seriously, I'm serious. Do you do business lectures?
At the time, the reason why I never did them was because at the time, remember we had an era where artists didn't want to know the business. They just wanted, look, I'm turning the project.
They want to entertain.
That's it.
And they want to get paid.
So sitting down and talking to people about publishing and this and that, they're like, man, Mike, you do it. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody never did want to learn the business part of it. Nobody never wanted to get up in the middle of the night and go hit the road and go to Little Rock, Arkansas and meet Broadway Joe and go meet all the program directors and figure out what it is on music day, on how to get your song played. Nobody ever cared to understand that part, but somebody got to do that part. Nobody understood it. So, and that was that.
Michael, that's just amazing. You did a piece at about 19, 20 years old, somewhere in that range, where you did your first big activity, and that involved giving back to others. Because you have done over the course of about 30 years.
Yes, sir.
You have a whole track record of things you've done in terms of giving back to others.
Correct.
But can you talk about the first one? What was the first one, Mike?
The fundraiser that I did to help the guy get his leg.
You tell me.
Yeah, so that was actually my first when a guy named Terrence got his leg cut off, and I did the fundraiser and pulled up at his mama's house. They didn't know me. They didn't even know I gave the function. I pulled up, had my car sound. I pull up in the LGS, knock on the door, and give her a check. And she looked at it. She says, "It's gonna bounce." I said, "Well, just put it in the bank. You'll find out." And I pulled it off.
How did you do the fundraising?
Okay.
Now wait a minute. Let's go back. How old were you then?
I had been 18.
18 years old.
17 going on 18.
17. Come on,
It's
audience.
like my birthday in May.
Michael is
so
17 going on 18. And he's doing a fundraiser for a kid whose leg got chopped off.
So I knocked on Pastor Brown's door.
Okay.
He had, what church he had at the time. Anyway, it's 2 in the morning. The Spirit told me, if I'm going to do something, I need this
The
help.
Spirit told
The Spirit told
you to go
me.
knock on this man's door at 2 o'clock in the morning.
His wife, she like 6 feet, period. She comes to the door to roll on. I said, "My name Michael Willis. I would like to speak to Pastor Brown." Somebody told me that, to reach out to him. She said, "Hold on." Got a robot. She wrote me back. And she called him. He come to the door. And I told him, I said, "I'm Michael Willis. I would like to do X, Y, Z." He said, "I tell you what to do, Michael Willis. Come back tomorrow at such and such time."
And like when human beings normally knock on my door.
Yeah, right. And we'll discuss it. And from there, we built a relationship, and he allowed me to use the St. Mary's Hall that he had. And nobody know, like St. Mary's Hall was mostly for church functions, but he allowed me to do the fundraising, and we built a relationship from there.
And you had entertainment at the fundraiser?
Yeah, I had UNLV, Miss T. I had like everybody. Like I said, we was all young then. All the artists were young.
Okay.
And they all supported it, and I took the little money we made from it. And,
how much did you charge for that?
the ticket price was $20 probably to get in. Yeah. Because back then, all the artists like there wasn't $5,000 to book artists then. It was a couple of $100 you could book artists.
Okay.
If Cash Money Records had, let's say they got Lil Wayne, they got UNLV, you damn near can get all of them for $500 a piece. You know what I'm saying? So you get Baby $1,500, you got all the Cash Money Records artists at the time. We didn't have social media and all that other stuff back then. Shit, Baby will pull up on me. We'll write the contract on a piece of toilet paper.
On a piece of toilet paper.
For real, on a piece of toilet paper. That's just how it was, Because we had my uncle Biddy, who had Ben's grocery store. He had Biddy 1, who was in the cutoff, and Biddy 2 on fair in the LGS. So, to be honest with you, it's always, when you look back at, now we're in 2024, when you look back at the journey, I guess this is what I was supposed to be from day one. I just didn't want to accept it, to be honest with you, at one point.
When did you know that you had a spiritual connect in terms of what you did?
So I originated Caesar's Place in 1999, the nightclub.
Okay.
And the FEMA Friday with Frida, the Juvie Tuesdays, all that stuff was me. I originated all that stuff. I ran the club for 12 years, from 1999 to 2012. My mom died. When people say, "Mike, I'm not going to Gretna, man. Gretna is this and that, blah, blah."
Yeah,
but because
I kind of said that myself.
Yeah,
Mike.
but they said because you might, we go check it out, right? So I always believed in security, so I made sure I had enough security. I hired who I wanted to hire, and my first event, they had a line around the corner, and I'm scared. I'm up there thinking like Martin Luther King. Well, I hope these don't mess up in here tonight, because your grand opening will be your grand closing. Then I got to show this old man that I can control this crowd. Not only can I get it past Mr. Caesar at the time.
Mr. Caesar, okay.
Yeah, so he was 50-something, I'm 20-something. So that don't add up. But he needed, his club was empty. It was a hall. Now Felice is his bar room. So he understood the bar business. He didn't understand the club business. So he allowed me to run the whole club business. And, you know, throughout the years, you meet a lot of people. So then I get a phone call in 2000 from Chief Casby, Tyrone Casby, who is Mohawk Hunters Indian, which was my football coach, my pa, you know, Belgium, right? And he says, I want to meet with you, to talk to you. I said, okay. So we had a meeting, and he told me he wanted me to sponsor and be involved with the West Bank Super Sunday.
Sponsor what?
Being sponsor and operate and be involved with the West Fest Super Sunday.
Okay.
Right? It was West Fest Family Day in the Park. In previous years, you know, of attending it just, the turnout wasn't always big. It wasn't. So when I put my little muscle behind it, I remember we had a flatbed truck. They didn't even give me a stage. They had a flatbed truck out there for the stage. And Magnolia Shorty, Frida, Courtney Hart, you know, like I said, everybody, they just, you know, getting into the business. Everybody there performing. And 10,000 people outside.
Wow.
Like,
wow.
You know, you can't see the park, you can't see no grass, there's only people. Outside the park, people. Now, at this point, we was doing it behind Landry at Fox Park at the time. You know, now we do it at McDonald Park, but back then it was at Fox Park. And to look at that amount of people, and it's like, I'm praying up there like, man, I hope nothing going wrong. Just too many people out here, you know. But it looked good, you know, from a photo perspective, but people understand us operating it. And, you know, the whole aspect of you got vendors, you got this, you got that, you need enough police. You know, it was scary, you know. So now that takes me from Drum Major Michael to now I'm the head face of the West Bank Super Sunday, which was an Algiers thing, right? Then I'm running Caesar's Place, which is around the corner, down the street, right? So it's like God was building me up to, I don't know why, to have that many people follow me and support me.
So you never had a serious incident at that park event?
Never.
Did you have one? Did you have a serious incident?
We never had an incident. No. Now we had some fights every now and then, but nothing detrimental. No. And I built and so every Sunday, what I did in my own neighborhood, we did a block party every Sunday, right? In Christopher Homes. We had DJ, seafood. I was trying to show everybody what a community should be. After people come from church, now all y'all gotta do is come out here with your chair, sign your name on the dominoes table. You wanna play dominoes, you wanna play spades, sign your name. And that was that. And that's how our community got along. Every Sunday, this went down, right? Water guns, everything. But I gave one rule, no fighting. If we have one fight, I'm gonna shut it down. Period. You know? And I guess I built a reputation where, you know, people be like, don't do it, y'all. You gonna shut it down. We got our best outfit on today.
I said that is a consistent message you see across events, but the consistent message also is to, this is a family event. This is for families. And one of the things that I saw that was a consistency is the fact that the event will last at least 3 hours, sometimes 4, but at least 3 hours. And we are going to do things consistently during that time period for you, with you. But you can't come in the first hour and get the stuff and not be there in the last hour.
So I already knew how hot dogs, spacewalks, snowballs, whatever, to entertain them for a little while. And then within the last hour, then I'm going to give them the resources they want. You know? Don't just come here and think I'm going to give you an Easter basket. No. Don't just come here and think I'm going to give you a book bag. No.
One of the things you also shared is, don't send your children here.
Yeah, come.
You got to come with your children.
Come with your children.
You got to come. It's just all interesting, and that's a consistency across the things that you do.
So I got to give this one thing to Master P. So I wanted to do a summer camp. So he said, okay, do the summer camp. Right? So I did a 6-week summer camp. Something I've never done in my life. And my first year we had 200 kids came. Right? And you know, people will tell you about other experiences. I paid for that experience. I found out what was going on in people's households, the needs of the families, just how this generation of the kids are responding and reacting to anything, resolution, you know, like, and having that summer camp taught me a whole lot.
What year was that?
2013.
That's 13. Okay.
Right. And anyway, like you get all my emails. So I have a lot of ideas in my emails, right? So the emails was me sending it out to the government saying, hey, bring this program back, bring that program back, because it worked. It worked for me. It worked for other people. It worked. And for some reason, some people, they didn't want to reintroduce and re-educate those good ideas that worked at one point. So that's what we're looking at right now, to me, in society. We're looking at, right now, in my personal opinion, to still be talking about what Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, Nat Turner, Harriet Tubman fought for 50, 60 years ago. We still have these same conversations. We still seeing the same things. That means that it doesn't matter who got into political space. Did we do better yet? Like, did change happen?
There's a couple of why questions I have as regards just what you just said. But I want to, and I'm going to put them in the parking lot over here for a second, because there for me, Michael, with you, there is a spiritualness about you. You come with a spiritualness.
Correct.
And it just you mentioned a couple of times that spirit. You go to a man's door at 2 o'clock in the morning, brother. Come on. Yeah. I mean, come on. That's on the level of outrageousness. But then that's a move, I suppose, that spirit makes for folk.
Correct.
A true folk.
But I was scared of it. Let me tell you what. I had 1 foot in and 1 foot out. You know, I was in the streets. You know, like the way I started off ain't the way I finished, and some of the people I started with ain't gonna be some of the people I finished with. You know, I've seen a lot as a child that I felt like children.
You shared your mom.
Yeah.
Your mom had a serious addiction issue.
Listen, we watched our mama sleep with people for food in the same room. We had one room. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I understand. I truly do.
But and what people don't understand, some things that everybody make normal was not normal. But that was survival back then. And she taught, like, some people be like, man, your mom was wrong for, no, she taught us survival. I probably wouldn't be here today if I didn't even take heed to the stuff. So I'm gonna tell you this crazy thing at Berlin. I make the honor roll. Miss Romero was my teacher. So, you know, when you call your parents,
so you're in middle school.
Yeah, I'm in junior high.
In junior high,
at Berlin.
6th grade, 7, 8, one of those years.
So Miss Romero called my mom because they wanted to honor me because I made the honor roll. My mom would come down, pissy drunk. Daisy Dukes on, they just hit a lick, she got rings on all her fingers, her toes, come up and down, whooping me. So Miss Romero said, what's going on, Miss Willis? Why are you whooping him? Well, he ain't mess up? No, he made the honor roll. Like, I got a butt whooping from making the honor roll. But at that time, if people felt like when you got to call a parent to the school, the child must have did something wrong. You think I got to high school and you think I wanted my mama to come and do what she did to me in junior high?
I hear you, bro.
Listen, I wasn't giving nobody no problem. That's why I'm like, I got to graduate. I'm not about to give nobody no problem to where y'all got to call my mama, because I don't know who will turn out. You know, the one, I don't know which one will turn up, you know. And so when I left Landry to go to Walker, she came sober, some Daniel Green slippers on. We went to Lawson's. She went and got a bottle of Wild Irish Rose, and we walked straight down the street to Walker. She signed me in school, and I never saw her again.
Wow. Wow.
Like, when I graduated, nobody came to my graduation.
I saw that. And I didn't necessarily want to talk about that, but I saw that. Nobody came to graduation.
Well, because she was the black sheep, and they feel like no way possible something positive could come out of Michael.
Wow.
Period. And I have aunts and uncles.
Wow.
Like I'm the youngest of 6 kids, and I'm the first one to graduate. Yeah.
I know you recognize that that life you described, so many are actually living today.
Mm.
You're living it right now.
Correct.
That's a fact. That's an absolute positive fact, Michael.
Yeah.
Is that part of the reason that drives you to do all of the stuff that you do for kids?
Well, I always feel like if I went through it, and like I said, if my mom had 13 friends, they all was on drugs. So, you know what I'm saying, on drugs. So it wasn't just our household. But LGS as a whole at the time was poor.
Yeah.
But we improvised. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all stood at the Alta Monday building for the government cheese. We all went on Tash Street for the canned goods. Like, it wasn't one family. It was lines of families. You know, but for some reason, the pride and the hope that people had, LGS was a different kind of community. We was poor, but we didn't much know we was poor. Because the way how everybody put in together, the village at the time, you know. It's about to be 7 o'clock. You know it's about to be dark outside. I'm going to call your mom. Like, everybody knew you better be inside at 7 o'clock before the street light come on, you know. So, like I said, we had, so one time we caught the bus to go across the river. And I said, they got people over here? Like, that's how messed up we was.
Because you had actually...
Everybody nailed it from West Bank, just dealt with the West Bank.
Never been across the river.
Never been across the river. So I go on Canal Street. So my sister and them, some kind of way I get bumped. It's Mardi Gras time. And when I get bumped, I spin in a circle. So when I turn back around, I don't see my sister and them. So I'm lost now. So all I remember was they said, you get lost, find the police, blah, blah, blah. Now, the rules back then was, y'all better don't lose Michael. Hold his hand the whole time. Period. Man, my sister, my cousin, everybody got a butt whooping from losing me, right? So mama, she come to the police thing and get me, and they caught a whooping because they lost me. But at that moment, that's when I realized the world was something different. You know, like they got people across the river.
I know you do recognize, Michael, there are kids right now in 2024 who know so little about the city of New Orleans.
Correct.
And who have been to so few places in the city of New Orleans.
Correct.
They have no idea of what actually exists in New Orleans.
So that's why I think that, you know, like in all my proposal, I ask people, if you have an organization that you want other people to know exists, if you want to partner with me, if you just want me to come and support, I'm willing to do it because my life changed because I was able to experience something different. I saw something different. And when I saw something different, it was either I was going to take the positive out of it or the negative out of it. So when I was young, they started foreign exchange students, right? It's a real story. Some people came from Trinidad. I got to go by their house on weekends, and some weekends they got to come up to my house. But they don't know my house ain't like their house. Now, when I'm at their house, they sit at the table eating as a family. And I'm like, now that's new to me, but I like it. So Ryan, now he got to come sleep at my house for one weekend. He got strung out on drugs.
Wow.
See, he saw what Mama was doing at my house, and he got strung out on drugs and started living street life. And here me, I'm trying to find out how to be a family, how to sit at the table and hold hands, pray, and pass the rolls down to each other. So I picked up one thing from his house, and he picked up something from mine.
Wow.
And yeah.
You know, we're running out of time, Michael, and I don't know when you're going to schedule your next show with me, but you're going to have to schedule the next show with me because we haven't really talked enough about the things that you do and the things that you've done and the things that you want to do.
Correct.
Those are 3 things that we have left untalked about.
Yeah.
But one of the things I said at the beginning of this was we have talked about spiritualness and the fact that you have a spiritual basis.
Correct.
You do. But one of the things I found was this episode in a tornado.
Yeah.
And that is just an amazing piece.
Yeah.
The fact that you were literally in a tornado.
Yeah. So December
and
14th.
damn near died. Why don't you talk about
So
that?
December 14th. So December 13th, I get a text from Walgreens. My blood thinners came in, my medicine. So I go on the 13th. The medicine's not there. So then they called me on the 14th. They said the medicine's there, and I need the blood thinner. So I'm like, I'm gonna go to Walgreens get the medicine. And I was putting together the Christmas thing. So Master P called me and Zelled some money to my daughter for some bikes. Right? Now mind you, I'm on the same street 2 times. That's the part that blew my mind. So I'm already on Franklin, about to go to the gym. My daughter was pregnant, so she moved kind of slow. So she got up, she said, well, he sent it, I'm gonna go to the bank right now. I said, okay, so I passed down Franklin, and I go back to General de Gaulle way. So I make this left. I said, well, I tell you what, Marianne, go to the bank, I'm gonna go to the gym and do a little cardio. Now, I make this left back on Franklin again. The second time I'm on Franklin, the tornado comes down, boom. Like, I'm looking at people pumping gas. I'm looking at people looking outside. I'm looking at people ordering food at the Pie Man. Like, I'm watching life going on. I'm watching people pumping gas and everything. And then it just, boom, came down from nowhere. And it's me in a car lot that's in this thing. The car lot coming apart, cars flying, everything. Like, they got a house next to it. They got a house over there. They got a bingo hall across the street. This thing don't hit nothing. None of that. Just me in that car lot. Things flying in my car. I'm watching the power lines come out the ground. Like, if you go to Franklin, if you see every brand new power line, that lets you know how many power lines came out the ground that was in a circle with me, right? So I'm screaming, like, you know, I'm in a tornado. And I'm saying, man, I'm going out like this in a tornado? Like, so I just put my head down and put my head on the steering wheel and I started praying. I'm like, okay, Lord, if this your will, you'll have your way, right? And then it just spit me out.
You say spit you out.
It just spit me out like a block away, right? So the crazy part was this. The police is already there. The police sitting out there, EMS, everybody running around doing whatever they do. And they asked me, where do I come from? I said, what you mean where I come from? The man said, where you come from? I said, I was in a tornado. So he said, well, listen, I got some calls going. We gotta go. If you really need medical assistance and anything, let me, I'll be back. So then it get quiet. You know, like the calm before the storm comes. So it already went this way. So I'm saying, sound like this thing about to try to come back. So then I said, nah, you ain't gonna get me 2 times on Franklin. So that's when I decided to drive, put my head out the window, because they had a stick through the windshield, a board already through there. So I put my head out the windshield, out the driver door, and I'm driving like that. Go around Rouse's, I go around some power poles, and I drive to my daughter's house. And when I got into my daughter's house, all 4 of my tires got on the flat, and the windows popped out the window. And front the door, like.
And there is a whole series on YouTube as regards to this. I've forgotten what it's on.
It's also on ABC.
On ABC?
Yeah.
I saw it on YouTube, but there's some of it on YouTube.
Yeah, so ABC came down to cover it because they was talking about, all the first responders and stuff, And so when they saw the footage they got from them, like, they seen me flying. Like, they got the footage of my car flipping and doing whatever. I'm knowing I'm in it, but I didn't see it. You know what I'm saying?
And so how did that hit you when you actually saw that?
I go to counseling right now.
I know, I go to imagine you do.
And that's what I want to talk to people about, like healing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to allow yourself to heal, but you have to, be willing to want to heal. And that's what this is about the whole world. Like, because I go to a lot of funerals and I support a lot of people. And the reason why I support them, because the majority of them I really know. But we have to figure out as a people, how do we do this? What if the government? What if that's not their job? What if? What is
it? Is it our job? Michael, hold that thought. This is WHIV FM 102.
What happened?
This is WHIV FM 102.3 on the dial, WHIVFM.org, if that's how you're listening to us, the station that believes in human rights, the station that believes in social justice, the station that believes what we do and how we do it, we will in fact in war. Amazingly amazing. Facebookers, stay there. Radio audience, we'll see you on Wednesday. Take care. Michael, that's amazing. See, that is absolutely amazing. And I said this, and I know we're talking now, Facebookers are still with us, but we're going to have another session.
Whenever I'm ready.
We're going to have another session. And Facebookers, we're going to schedule another session. Michael Willis is amazing.
I'll be here next Wednesday if you need me.
You're amazing.
Yeah.
So
Listen, I promise you this. I tell everybody this. I don't want to take nothing for credit, not for granted either. You know, I love God. Like when I tell you I'm more in love with Jesus than I've been in my whole life, because I've been through a lot, and now I'm just at a stage about to be 50, and I have grandkids to where I'm willing to say I need healing myself. You know what I'm saying? I need counseling myself.
That's amazing.
You know,
Michael, why don't you hit the, not right now, but we're gonna hit that ending button. Wait. But Facebookers, this is WHIV, but Facebookers, that's Michael Willis. This is Calvin. Michael is gonna be back with us. He said next Wednesday, maybe Wednesday after
it doesn't
next.
matter. Whatever day you want me, I'm
He's
here.
gonna be back with us. Okay? But anyways, take care.
Thank you.
Hit it.